And gentlemen, welcome back to TLT Talks. We are coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York, right ahead of Thanksgiving weekend. One of my favorite weekends of the entire year. For anyone that knows me, you know that I'm all about gratitude and being grateful and being present and making sure to reflect and stay thankful for all in your life. And so today we have one that probably one of the people I'm most grateful for in our lives. And that's just not limited to me, but also my wife, my family, my team. Trying to get him on. Come on, Instagram. And boom! There he is, the one and only Mr. Zachary Burns. How goes it, my friend?
Going well. Let me update my audio.
You sound great on the side. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little bit about Mr. Zachary Burns. Him and I met a few years ago. Originally started as an executive assistant for me, helping me in all I do. And now he's chief of staff for me. And also, as if that wasn't enough, as if it wasn't enough to support me, my family, my business, all that stuff, he's also head of client care for the entire Litvak team. So, Mr. Burns, I could talk about you all day long.
Go ahead.
But why don't you
You're so good at it.
why don't you, obviously you guys can see we never have fun together. It's always business only. It's never a good time. Zach, why don't you tell the folks watching a couple things about yourself, and then we get to dive into this special thing we do called client care.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. First off, I love being here, and I sort of fell into the whole executive assistant gig. I was a flight instructor at the Air Force Academy. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a pilot. All of these things, and eventually I found my way to New York City and had a little stint at the UN. And from there, I've been supporting big deal peeps like you. So that's where we are. I'm a father of two. Recently just had a little baby girl. So that's consuming most of my life between supporting you and taking care of my little baby girl. But I love it. I'm having a great time. It's great to be here.
Love it. Everybody see how he lit up? He said baby girl, and boom, the whole face.
Baby girl, man. Come on.
I know how it goes. And look, you know what? You wanted to be an astronaut. Part of being an astronaut is, the desire to go to the moon. And as you know, here we're always Elon Musk. Let's go to the moon in the business, baby. So you got to be careful what you wish for. You want to go to the moon, you'll go there theoretically. You'll go to the business moon, right? To the business moon. Love it. So what I would say is that on our team, one of the things that is so important to us are our people, right? And so whether whoever's going to be watching this, who's going to join us today live, or then for the 100,000 plus people that get this when we circulate it, if you're someone that's in business, not limited to real estate, in any capacity, feel free to listen and see if there's anything here that you could pick up and maybe incorporate into your business. And or if you see any opportunity to share with us, if there's anything you do in your practice that rhymes with some of the things that we're doing, we're always looking to learn. So happy to get that feedback as well. And then for the consumers out there, if you're part of our circle, then great. Happy to have you. If you're not and it sounds exciting, well, then join us. Similarly, feel free to provide any feedback. We love it. Mo Grizzly says, I don't know how I got here, but y'all look like you're making money and I want in. Okay, well, great. Mo, feel free to reach out to us. We can see what we can do about that.
We look expensive, Eugene.
Zach, why don't you talk a little bit? Why don't we dive in, and why don't you talk a little bit about your day-to-day here?
Sure. Well, it's a dual role, really. It's really supporting you, and as your chief of staff, and supporting the agents, and really being present for the team, present for your day-to-day. I mean, you have a hectic life by choice, by design. I mean, you want to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and so we keep you there.
True.
And
true.
Yeah, so we have a lot of balls in the air, you and I. And on the other front is my client care. role, and that's become more robust lately. You know, with more team meetings and more our focus on SOI with the agent team. We've really got a nice rhythm there, and it's almost like I kind of feel like I want to do that more than support you in some ways. So I'm more like I get more excited about that, like my own little agenda over there. So
That's right.
I'm having a lot of fun. So, you know, our business is predominantly return referral business here on the team. I don't know if you knew that, but you know, it's not about what you do for someone. You know, the Maya Angelou quote. Please, I'm gonna mess it up, but I actually I'll leave it with you. You please, the Maya Angelou quote, Eugene.
Yeah, it's how we run the business. It's how, people will forget what you say. They'll even forget what you do, but they'll never forget the way you make them feel.
That's
Yeah.
So when I first heard that, I mean, obviously I knew who Maya Angelou was, but I wasn't familiar with that quote. And I just thought, wow, how profound and how fitting, and what you know, it really changed my outlook on how I approach any relationship. You know, I've learned a lot from you, Huge. You know, mindset and coaching and things, but that's one of the big ones. And you can walk away from a conversation or an interaction feeling like you're completely aligned and everything's good and they feel great, and then you find out that it's just completely opposite. So you really want to work towards making how someone feels, and that's where we live. That's the space we live.
Yeah. That's spot on, man. And there's this philosophy out there. You know, the customer's always right, the client's number one, etc. And actually here, you know, I forget exactly who said it, but one of the Mount Rushmores of CEOs basically said, if you take care of your people will take care of your customers. So, you know, a lot of what we do plays into that too. But ultimately, people will ask me all the time, what do you love most about real estate? You know, like, nothing. I don't walk into a property and it's like, oh my God, look at the high ceilings. And I don't get super excited about, oh my God, look at this investment property. For me, the whole business is about people, is the fact that we get to make a difference in people's lives, right? Whether it's helping them, you know, upgrade because they've had a new kid or they're moving somewhere, whatever it is, we get to be a part of people's lives. And for the folks out there that are just so focused on the transaction of the dollar that they forget that they have such an influence on someone's life, it's like, I feel like they're kind of missing the whole thing. So for us, you know, and I'm so glad that I found someone, a running mate, if you will, that for those that may not know it, you know, we're a very structured team. We set KPIs every year or goals or outcomes every single year. It's always the same 5 buckets, and Zach owns one of the buckets, and that's having to do with all of our clients. He basically owns making sure that all of our clients are really happy with us and they're feeling the love. And Zach does, you know, an exceptional job with that. So Zach, I think that's a good segue to jump into it. Our client care plan, or when we say client care, why don't you talk a little bit about what that means exactly?
That was a beautiful segue. So I mean, so you go anywhere, you go to a golf course, you go to Tony Robbins events, right? So everyone goes to some kind of event or club, and there's always a special tier. There's like a members only tier or a VIP tier or something. So we at TLT have created the TLT VIP club, and that's just what we call it. But ultimately, everyone that interacts with TLT, whether they're a vendor, whether they're a client, whether they're on our team, I mean, we treat them as family. That's just, you know, back to the Maya Angelou quote, we really care about people. So if I guess if you're not around us, you know, it's come on in and we'll care about you. It's just something we do. We have plenty of care to give people, plenty of clients care, etc. But yeah, so we've started this VIP program, and you know, we have a ton of freebies. For those who like freebies, you can come on over and check it out. Everyone loves freebies, but come on over. And it's not just restaurants, it's not just vendors. I mean, Hatchets and Hops, Oregano in Williamsburg, a couple of like the bread and butters of our program here. But we ultimately want to be your go-to. I mean, we know a guy.
Right.
TLT knows a guy. That's true about you. But ultimately, I have access to your entire database, so I also know guys. So if you reach out to me, I can bridge you with someone, right? We get the best. We want the best contractors, the best lawyers. Really, we want to help people, and so that's as you said, you've got into the business to help people, and real estate's your vehicle. But there's so many other vehicles and so many other ways that we try to touch and get involved. I mean, we're everywhere. So anywhere from anniversaries and birthdays to private events to Cancun giveaways. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. But ultimately, you know, if you're interested, just reach out to me. I can talk your ear off about all we're doing here.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And that's spot on, man. Like you can look, the truth is times have evolved. And if I'm someone out there and I'm looking for a plumber or a contractor, whoever it is, I can Google. But we all know that's not the same thing as someone that's tried and true, battle tested. And so I think that you know actually one of my best friends growing up, it's like that's how we knew him. We knew him as like, Gene, I know a guy. It's like anything you needed, Gene knew a guy. And I was like, you know, that's really good. And as I started to build my business, I'm like, I'd like to be there for people. I'd like to be a resource for people that whatever it is they might need, that they know someone. And so I've mentioned this line about you know, if you just take care of your people, they'll take care of your customers. And so we on this team, we take care of everyone on our team, our agents, our back of house, all of our stakeholders, exactly in the same way as we take care of our clients. If anything, maybe even more. Zach, why don't you talk about that a little bit? Some of the fun things. Zach is literally the energy that breathes life into this team. Just talk about some of the cool things you do, dude.
Well, I like to tell jokes, and I like to dress up and do funny stuff. Like, I think what was the one I dressed up as the most fun I've had this year was I dressed up as a pirate when we surprised everybody at your place and pulled up a pontoon and we went on a little cruise. Man, so TLT Olympics, right? We
actually hold on, I want to pause you there for a second.
Do it.
So literally, I just want you to imagine. I want you to imagine being on this team. I want you to imagine Zach just started to mention the Olympics. That's like you know, I'm gonna take this over because I don't think you're always a little bit modest, and I don't think you're gonna do this justice.
Oh, come on.
So we started a competition, a quarterly competition of the team. You know, all the usual stuff. Some about transactions, some about who reaches out to most of their clients, all the things that we want to move forward with as a company. And so we call those the Olympics. So the very first time we called it the TLT Olympics. I didn't have much of an expectation. I put some prize money there. There's a first, second, third place. And Zach's like, I have an idea. Give me a budget. Give me X dollars. I want to do something. I was like, okay, fine, great. So I walk into our Wednesday morning meeting where we're getting ready to crown our winners. And the whole room is designed like an Olympics. There's flags everywhere. There's like a champagne station. The whole room looks like the Olympics. I was like, it was so amazing. That was the first one. And the one Zach's talking about most recently, you know, the house that we bought, we've got a backyard or whatever. And so Zach's same thing, give me a budget, let me do whatever. So everybody's racking up. Everybody rocks up to my backyard. And Zach comes out dressed like a pirate. We do the celebration and we honor people, we give them their awards. And then a boat pulls up and Zach takes the whole team for 2 hours in a boat. I mean, literally, it's just, there's some things you can't put a price on. You can KPI all day long and metrics and P&Ls, and everyone that knows me knows I love my financial optics. But the fun, you know, the camaraderie, all that stuff is hard to put a price on. And Zach just does such a good job with all of it. It's always fun. It's always light. He always takes it really seriously. So thank you, Zach. I mean, thank you, man.
Of course. I don't know whose reaction was more fun that day. Like the team, when I walked out, you kind of knew I was going to do something.
A little bit, yeah.
You didn't know what, right?
Yeah.
But the team was like, and then I had to tell the boat captain, I'm like, listen, I'll be the guy dressed as a pirate. Like when you come to he's like a Long Island like boat guy, and I'm like, okay, so we're a real estate team from New York City, and I'm going to be dressed as a pirate when you come pick us up. So his reaction was also fun.
Great.
It was a ton of fun.
It was good. And Zach's done, what other costumes have you done? Zach's done. Oh, I'm drawing a blank now. What were some of the other costumes?
Man, I think the boat captain guy dressed up as especially like a boat captain. I had the hat on that time.
That was good.
Oh, the Irish guy when I invited you.
Irish guy once.
Irish guy.
I mean, it's like literally all the time. It's all the time. They're so good. It's so funny. Yeah, if you think, look, you know, we just came back. What's that?
It's a privilege of Zoom in this little box. So I can buy a little hat. And
so, you know, it's funny. We've been talking on our team. We were one of the first ones to go back to the office, and I started this whole social media campaign of Get Off Zoom. And I just came back from the annual Compass Retreat, and Robert Refkin's whole message about, you know, it's a tough time out there with rates, with the economy, with war, with everything that's going on out there, what's the answer? The answer is right here. The answer is connectivity. The answer is getting around each other. The answer is sort of back to the way things were pre-COVID. If you look at most successful institutions, Compass, Google, JP Morgan, most people have brought their people back sort of full time. I know that some people, the market's evolved and not everyone's looking to be a full time in the office person anymore. But this thing of like Zoom is great. I've been using Zoom from way before COVID, but there's just nothing like, shoulder to shoulder, actual in the office interaction. And so, ultimately culture is something that's absolutely invaluable. And I think that, Zach, what you do most here is just give our company to the consumers and to the stakeholders such an incredible sense of culture. Whatever I might have ever dreamed of, you've taken that and ran with it. And I think that's a good transition. I think that's a transition. Here's Brenna. Brenna says yes. Yes. Actually, we say this all the time. So I'm the founder and the CEO of the company, but I'm not kidding with you guys. Like if I went to the team and I put it to a vote, all right, guys, somebody's got to go. Me or Zach, I'd be nervous. For me, I'd be nervous for me.
You're too hard on everybody. No one wants you around.
Most people are, well, what does Eugene really do? All he does is produce the business. We can do that without him. Forget about him. Oh, see you 100% from Brenna. I got to watch out, people. I'm walking eggshells over here, making sure I'm the wrong Zach in any way.
That works.
But essentially, it's the thing we strive for. It's the thing we strive for here the most is this broker for life mentality. This. Thanks, Brenna. We're gonna talk about this, Brenna. It's this broker for life concept. I love that. What do we do here? What do we do here is we really care about people. We really care about being involved in, like, when we look at people, whether that be a buyer, seller, whoever, somebody from Compass, all these people, we really look at it as family. And Zach and I truly stay in the line there. So when someone comes into our Zach of all trades, says Michael Rima.
Is that a Michael Rima original?
When someone comes into our ecosystem, we truly stay in touch. I mean, there's a regular cadence. There's a regular cadence of checking in. I mean, we know when your birthdays, when your anniversaries, we know what's going on with your kids and which school they're going to. We know about college. We know about jobs. I mean, we're really connected, and we're looking for all the ways we can to add value. Even if you're moving across the country. I mean, Compass is a nationwide platform now, soon to be in the world. Robert Reffkin did announce that in the next 2 years or 1 year, we will be in multiple international locations. So really, there's a web around currently the country and ultimately the world. And so this, I know guy sort of thing, it's what we value the most. And we look to be valuable. Zach's actually put together some of our bigger, cooler events / prizes, or gifts, I should say. Zach, why don't you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I get the fun part of all of that, right? I mean, we want people to feel taken care of, and that's our philosophy. And you live that, you embody that. I get to spend your money doing that, right? So I get the best part of that. I just let you know what the budget is, and you give me all kinds of leeway here. So some of the big ones that we're working on or that we love, that I think get the most traction or make me feel the best. Or some we do housewarmings for clients who've just bought and it's their new house, and we want there's nothing more important. There's another one of something I heard from you as well. It's sometimes there's not much more important in a lot of people's lives than buying or selling a home.
It's true.
So when they come to us and we share that experience with them, that's a bond, and so to welcome them to their home and to give them a gift, like a cutting board or a compass, they're meaningful, but it's the whole kind of energy that we give around really wanting to share that experience that the client feels. I mean, they feel safe, they feel protected, they feel like we've got a vested interest in their life, and it's true, and we do feel that way. So our clients are family. We say that a lot. We hear that a lot, from everywhere, but we do really feel that way. We're sharing in a big moment in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, for sure, man. We our clients are fam, and we love to spoil them. It's like it brings us joy. It's not always economically responsible per se, But we just love it, man. Like, think about it. Like, we, one of my favorite housewarmings ever. We helped somebody at the edge where we do so much of our business and where I kind of grew up. I had someone that was, they were looking to upgrade, and so they sold their 2 bedroom and they bought a penthouse. And as someone that's lived in a penthouse, it is such a big milestone for someone to be able to achieve something like that. It's like the feeling's incredible. So we basically said, listen, we will do the housewarming for you. And we did. We made it. We brought in a chef. We brought in an artist. We made it like an event. We let them invite 20 or 30 of their closest friends. And we got to do it all for them. We got to throw the event for them, and we brought in a videographer. Actually, there's a video of this when I was on, I forget if this was Pix 11 or American Dream TV, but one of them, we recorded this whole thing, and it was just so cool. It was just so fulfilling to be involved in that part of it. So yeah, anyways, there's just all these different things we do, and we legitimately, like, it's not some lead gen strategy. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a referral out of it, but really, we just love to be involved with our people. I mean, everybody, if you think about it this way, as an entrepreneur or even an employee today, everybody spends so much time at work. It's like, don't you want to be in an environment where you're genuinely fulfilled by the work you're doing? And I could tell you, I know lots of wealthy people that make a ton of money. Money does not make people happy. Yes, it's easier. It's easier when the money's around. Life is a little bit easier, but it's not a source of happiness. It's what you do with it and yada yada. And so I'm really proud of what we do. I'm really proud of the fact that we love our clients in the way that we do and treat them in the way we do. And it's, you'd be surprised. It's not that easy to find somebody out there to match your vision, but certainly Mr. Burns, our chief of staff and head of client care, does so. And anyone on the team or off the team that's had any interaction with him would support that. So Zach, let's talk about Compass. Let's talk about Compass.
So yeah, I guess so. All of these cool things that we do for our team or we do for clients, ultimately you're OG Compass, man. You've been there for like 10 years. Like you've got a lot of stock. And
crazy.
And yeah, so they're the execs there, the VIPs. I mean, you grew up with the company in a lot of ways, so you have a lot of personal relationships there, and they really are family. I mean, the events that you've done there for everyone, for the community, and then like the retreat, you go out and you're always having a great time. You're always it's a lot of energy, and we just really enjoy treating them like family. I mean, all of it, agents. Execs, giving everybody pies. I mean, that's what we've got that coming up, right? We're gonna shuttle around a bunch of pies, and hopefully not everyone's on vacation yet.
That's right. And and it's great. It's I feel real at home here because we could be anywhere. We could be at any real estate company. Anybody would welcome us arms wide open. But I genuinely feel like Compass and the mindset they bring to their stakeholders and their community is very similar to what we do else. I mean, I for the first time in my, real estate career, I feel very at home. The same outpour of love we give, I feel like I get from Compass. And, whether it's senior leadership, I mean, anytime I call anyone at senior leadership, I'm never having to wait. And if there's a problem, they legitimately care about solving the problem, all the way down to like our daily support. I mean, it's the culture here is quite incredible. I think Compass does a really great job about culture. Like the retreat was cool. And everybody's in it, like we're hanging out with Rob, and they brought in Jay Shetty as the keynote speaker this year. That was real cool. I got to chop it up with him a little bit. Then like Ori, 20 of us played basketball. Ori came and played some ball. It is very much a family environment. And I think you and I were talking about this earlier, like, ultimately what would we want? Who do we want to be for people? And we want people to feel energized by us. Like when your phone rings and you see the person who's on it, sometimes there's this feeling of like, oh God, I gotta get back to this person. Or sometimes you'll drop everything you're doing to pick up the phone, talk to that person because of what they represent, energy, life, fun, whatever. And so for us, for anyone watching, that's what we strive to be. We strive to be, when you see us on the caller ID, it's like you drop everything because something good's gonna happen. Either a fun chat, or something great, or Zach's going to be in a pirate costume. Maybe. Or who knows? You
have to pick it up if I'm calling. You never know.
That's right. So ultimately, I have this vision that, I get, people often ask me what my motivation is. And it's like, Superman gets re-energized by the sun. That's people for me. People are my sun. Obviously, the primary source of all of my motivation and fuel is my family, my wife, my kids, and then immediately followed by my team. I mean, knowing that I have responsibility or that I get to contribute to any part of their lives, that's going to be great. I mean, for me, that's the ultimate source of energy. But people, man, anywhere I can add value to people, that really does it for me. And so that's what we strive to be. We strive to be the light in people's lives. And Mr. Burns, I cannot imagine a better running mate to help me work on this outcome. So thank you, sir. Thank you for all you do day in and day out, all your energy, all your effort, everything you are, man. It's I think it's without hoping this doesn't sound too creepy, maybe it's destiny we found each other. Maybe it's destiny our paths crossed when they did, and here we are executing what I think is a really amazing culture.
That was a hard first interview because not for being an interview, but because we had to keep going back to an interview. Like we were laughing and joking the whole time. Similar to this, we have to get ourselves on track. But man, thanks for having me.
Man.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to run something that's so important to you.
Cool, man.
And so I really get that feeling when we put something together, or I give you an idea. You're always so excited to get going. So you give me all kinds of freedom to just play, and that's where real creativity comes in, real fun, and we've created something fun here.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and so I encourage you to take this moment. Everyone's always so busy. Give thanks, reflect, be grateful, all that good stuff. Zachary, before we let people go, any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave people with?
I align with the time of year. I mean, so it's such a great time to stop and think about what you're thankful for, because it's very easy to start thinking as our days go. Our days are busy and our lives are hectic, to think what's gone wrong with the day. And so if our morning routine, we start with mindset here, and to start the day with what you're grateful for. And if you're not doing that, if you're not constantly bringing gratitude into your mindset, it can get to be pretty negative. So I would leave everyone with, let's take Thanksgiving as a kickoff to be grateful.
Love it. Yeah, Tony would say, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And directly with that, Tony would say that the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of the daily emotions you experience. So what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. And wherever you pay attention, that's what you're going to feel. And so this time of year, it's easier. It's easier to be thankful. It's easier to kind of stay away from the negativity. And especially now with everything that's going on in the world, it's so important. My only final thoughts would be, for anybody out there, consumer agent, Compass, anyone, if you are not part of our TLT VIP, reach out to myself, to Zach. We're growing our community. There's no cost of any kind. And essentially what you get is, over 100 years worth of experience, connections, etc. Not limited to real estate, but just in general. Imagine an environment where you never have to go to Google. Instead, you just know someone that's, all resourceful. And more importantly, you'd be involved in all the things we do, the private events, all the different cool things that we do. So we'd love to have you. Mr. Burns, you have an amazing day, sir. For everybody watching, thank you. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. See you guys. Bye-bye.